Okay, today is Friday, February 28th, and today I learned that I kind of just relearned because this is something that's just very important that I try to do often and just every day. But today I learned that you cannot be passive about anything, honestly. And mainly I was thinking about this from a Christianity perspective because recently I've just been feeling very convicted about my YouTube channel because it is a great way to share the gospel and glorify God and stuff like that. I've just been feeling very convicted about that because I feel like a lot of my videos can be very I don't include that, and I kind of just think worldly, I think the world within my videos, and because a lot of times I'm thinking about productivity and time management. I think honestly I just need to. I was reading a newsletter actually. There's actually an affiliate link in the description for that newsletter. It's called Redeeming Productivity. But it was just saying about productivity is not meant to be about what can you do in life. I say make the most of life a lot, and it's not about that. It's not about making the most of life for yourself. It's about making the most of life for God. And I've just, in terms of productivity, in terms of my YouTube channel, I've been just very convicted about that, and I want to obviously incorporate that into my videos a lot more. But also just generally about being passive. I was also reading another article about perfection and how God requires perfection. He doesn't expect it from us, but he requires it from us. But then that's why Jesus came to die for our sins so that we don't need to be perfect anymore. But I was thinking about that, and I was just thinking about how you can't be passive. Just because you've been forgiven by the grace of God, and just because just because you fail, just because you sin or something, that doesn't mean that you can just give up, right? You can't be passive about that. You have to be active. You have to be killing your sin. You have to be just trying to do the next right thing, right? I feel like I experienced that a lot today. You know, when you at the end of the day, you think about all the things you did wrong that day. That was kind of happening. I was just thinking stop thinking about that, just think about doing the next best thing and trying to just keep being active in that way. But also just more generally, just you have to be more active rather than passive. And I feel like I talk about this a lot, just taking action, being active, being proactive, that kind of thing. You can't just I don't think you should just let life happen to you, right? You should try to make the most out of life, and make the most out of life for God, right? So I think you should, just in a more general perspective, you have to be active with life. If you have goals, then you have to be active about them. You can't just hope that they happen to you. You have to, make progress on them. Relationships, if you want to have a deeper relationship with a friend or something like that, you have to be active about that. You have to ask the deep questions. You have to try to get to know them and be active about that, because a lot of times the other person won't be active about that. So you have to be that for them. Because even in small things, if you're trying to fix something, I kind of talked about this recently, but if you're trying to fix something, you have to be active about it. You can't just hope that it gets fixed itself, right? You have to be active about it and tend to it. Yeah, that's kind of what I learned today. Just be active rather than passive. Being passive is just letting life happen to you rather than you living, right? It's kind of just living versus being alive. I've talked about that before. If you don't know what I'm talking about, being alive is just passive. You're just doing the bare minimum, letting life happen to you. But then if you're actually living and you're actually doing life, right? Life as an action rather than life being placed onto you, that's being active, and that's much better, right? Because you can get more done, you can do more things, and also you're happier, more fulfilled. And especially if you apply that activity to the right things, then you really reap the benefits, right? Being passive, you don't get as many opportunities, you don't get to do as much things. And if you're passive, if you're just always waiting on something to happen to you, then maybe, yeah, you'll be ready for the opportunity. But instead, why don't you look for the opportunities rather than waiting for the opportunities? I don't know if that makes sense. It's almost if you're looking for something, you're searching for it and eagerly looking out for it, versus waiting on something. You're just waiting for it to come to you. So don't let things come to you. You go to other things, right? And that's just beneficial all around. For how I'm going to apply this is in my YouTube. Instead of just trying to wait for an opportunity to use a Bible verse or something like that, I need to be more active about that and actively look for those opportunities and just actively putting it in my videos, right? Because I am a Christian and that's what I'm called to do. So, and this is just a great platform for that. And if I didn't, then that's just such a wasted opportunity, right? So that's how I'm going to apply this. And obviously this can be applied in so many other ways, but the big thing that I'm thinking of is that. Let me know how you're going to apply this in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching. Like I said, if you found it helpful, then definitely give it a like. This video is a video I posted yesterday where I talked about, on the similar lines, just like loving others actively rather than passively. And I go through, or I use kind of 1 John 3:18 as kind of like the kind of use as a springboard for that. And then you can subscribe and right in that corner. If you subscribe, I will see you in tomorrow's video, posting daily. Bye.